Abroad. If someone goes or travels abroad, they go to another country.
My brother wants to go abroad next year.
Anger. To anger someone is to make them mad.
It angers me when people are rude.
Bride. A bride is a woman who is getting married or has just gotten married.
The bride looked beautiful in her wedding dress.
Brief. If something is brief, it only lasts for a short time.
The meeting this afternoon was very brief.
Chase. To chase someone or something is to follow them in order to catch them.
I was chased by an angry native.
Disappoint. To disappoint is to make one feel sad or unsatisfied.
I do not want to disappoint my family, so I try to do well at school.
Dive. To dive is to jump into water.
I will dive into the lake once we get there.
Exchange. To exchange means to give something for another thing in return.
I exchanged my foreign money for American dollars.
Favor. A favor is something you do for someone to help them.
Can you do me a favor and turn off the lights?
Fee. A fee is an amount of money that a person or company asks for a service.
I had to pay an hourly fee to speak with my lawyer.
Forever. If something lasts forever, it means it lasts for all time.
The young couple promised that they would love each other forever.
Guy. A guy is an informal way to call a man.
The guy at the flower shop was really helpful today.
Lovely. If people or things are lovely, they are good-looking or beautiful.
The trees look lovely in the fall.
Mood. A mood is the way someone is feeling.
I'm in a good mood because I did well on my math test.
Palace. A palace is a very large building. It is often the home of a royal family.
The king and queen live in a beautiful palace.
Permit. To permit something is to let someone do it.
I was sick, so my mother permitted me to stay home from school.
Protest. To protest something is to argue about it with someone.
The people protested the decision of the president.
Sculpture. A sculpture is a piece of art that is made from wood, clay, or stone.
We saw an old sculpture of Buddha at the museum.
Tribe. A tribe is a group of people who live in the same culture.
There's a small tribe of people who live in the mountains of Spain.
Youth. Youth is a time in people's lives when they are young.
My mother wanted to be a nurse in her youth.
Basis. To do something on time's basis is how often you do it.
My grandfather gets his hearing checked on a yearly basis.
Biology. Biology is the study of living things.
We learned about the human heart in biology class.
Cage. A cage is something that holds an animal so it cannot leave.
We put the parrots in their cage at night.
Colleague. A colleague is somebody you work with.
My colleague helped me finish the job.
Colony. A colony is a country controlled by another country.
The USA was at one time a colony of Great Britain.
Debate. To debate is to seriously discuss something with someone.
The husband and wife debated over which TV to buy.
Depart. To depart is to leave some place so you can go to another place.
The plane departed for Italy at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Depress. To depress someone is to make them sad.
The bad news from work depressed the man.
Factual. When something is factual, it is true.
John learns about history from factual books.
Fascinate. To fascinate someone is to make them really like something.
The kitten was fascinated by the ball of yarn.
Mission. A mission is an important job that is sometimes far away.
The woman's mission was to help sick people.
Nevertheless. You use nevertheless to show that something goes against a fact.
He is usually friendly. Nevertheless, he wasn't this afternoon.
Occupation. An occupation is a person's job.
My father's occupation is a dentist.
Overseas. If you go overseas, you go to a country on the other side of an ocean.
John often goes overseas for vacations.
Persuade. To persuade someone is to make them agree to do something.
The children persuaded their parents to buy them gifts.
Route. A route is the way you go from one place to another.
I saw many new houses along the route to the city.
Ruins. Ruins are old buildings that are not used anymore.
I visited some interesting ruins in Greece.
Scholar. A scholar is a person who studies something and knows much about it.
The scholar knew much about art history.
Significant. When someone or something is significant, they are important.
I read many significant novels as a literature major in university.
Volcano. A volcano is a mountain with a hole on top where hot liquid comes out.
When the volcano erupted, smoke and heat filled the air.
Broad. If something is broad, it is wide.
The river is very long and broad.
Bush. A bush is a plant with many thin branches. It is smaller than a tree.
My dad and I planted some small bushes around the house.
Capable. If someone or something is capable of something, they can do it.
The Olympic athlete is capable of lifting a lot of weight.
Cheat. To cheat is to be dishonest, so that you can win or do well.
They cheated on the test by sharing answers.
Concentrate. To concentrate on someone or something is to give your full attention.
I could not concentrate on my homework because the room was so loud.
Conclude. To conclude is to arrive at a logical end by looking at evidence.
I saw crumbs on my dog's face, so I concluded that he ate my cookie.
Confident. Confident means that one believes they can do something without failing.
She was confident she could climb the mountain due to her training.
Considerable. If something is considerable, it is large in size, amount, or extent.
They paid a considerable amount of money for that car.
Convey. To convey is to communicate or make ideas known.
That picture of a crying child conveys a feeling of sadness.
Definite. If something is definite, it is certain or sure to be true.
There is a definite connection between hard work and success.
Delight. Delight is a feeling of being very happy with something.
He felt such delight after getting a promotion at work.
Destination. A destination is the place where someone or something is going to.
The destination of this plane is Munich, Germany.
Dictate. To dictate something is to read it aloud so it can be written down.
He dictated his speech so his secretary could write it down.
Edge. The edge of something is the part of it that is farthest from the center.
He ran to the edge of the cliff.
Path. A path is a way from one place to another that people can walk along.
We followed a path through the woods.
Resort. To resort to something is to depend on it in order to solve a problem.
I hope they don't resort to violence to end the argument.
Shadow. A shadow is the dark area that is made when something blocks light.
The man's shadow was taller than he was.
Succeed. To succeed is to complete something that you planned or tried to do.
He will continue to work on the robot until he succeeds.
Suspect. To suspect something is to believe that it is true.
I suspect that those kids stole the money.
Valley. A valley is a low area of land between two mountains or hills.
We looked at the valley below from the top of the mountain.
Admire. To admire someone is to like them for what they do.
I admire my brother for his hard work.
Aid. To aid someone is to help them when they need something.
The doctor aided the boy after his accident.
Attempt. To attempt something is to try to do that thing.
I am attempting to learn English.
Authority. Authority is the power that someone has because of their position.
The policeman has authority on the streets.
Capital. A capital is an important city where a country's leaders live and work.
We will visit the capital to learn about our government.
Cooperate. To cooperate is to work together to do something.
The students cooperated to clean up the classroom.
Defend. To defend someone or something is to protect them from attack.
The soldiers defended the town from the invaders.
Destruction. Destruction is damage to something so bad that it can't be fixed.
After the big fire, there was much destruction in the city.
Disorder. Disorder is a lack of order, or a complete mess.
The teacher's desk had many papers in disorder.
Division. A division is the act of making smaller groups out of a larger one.
The chart had 6 divisions which all had different colors.
Enable. To enable a person is to make it possible for them to do something.
Having the key enabled us to open the door.
Frustrate. To frustrate is to prevent someone from fulfilling their desire.
The machine frustrated me because I could not fix it.
Govern. To govern is to control the public business of a country, state, or city.
The United States is governed from the White House.
Plenty. To have plenty of something is to have more than you need.
The school had plenty of books for the students to read.
Relieve. To relieve someone is to make them feel less pain.
The medicine relieved the sick boy.
Reputation. Reputation is the opinion that people have about someone.
The doctor had a reputation for helping people.
Royal. Royal describes something that belongs to a king or queen.
The king sat upon the royal throne.
Slave. A slave is a person who is not free and must work for someone else.
The slave worked very hard all day long.
Struggle. To struggle is to fight against someone or something.
The kids struggled with each other for the toy.
Stupid. When someone is stupid, they lack intelligence.
He said something stupid that made everyone angry at him.
Citizen. A citizen is someone who lives in a certain town or city.
Carlos was born in Spain. He is a Spanish citizen.
Council. A council is a group of people who run a city or town.
The council met to discuss the new laws for the city.
Declare. To declare is to say something officially.
I declared my love for him.
Enormous. When people or things are enormous, they are very large.
My dog looks enormous next to yours.
Extraordinary. When someone or something are extraordinary, they are amazing.
The fireman who rescued the girl was extraordinary.
Fog. Fog is a thick cloud that is near the ground or water.
I did not want to drive in the thick fog.
Funeral. A funeral is a ceremony that takes place after a person dies.
They had a funeral for the soldier who died during the war.
Giant. When people or things are giant, they are very big.
The giant truck got in my way.
Impression. An impression is the way of thinking about someone or something.
Most people's first impression of Dr. Gianni is that he is mean.
Income. Income is how much money a person or business makes.
Her company pays her a fairly good income.
Mad. When someone is mad, they are angry.
Mother got mad when I didn't listen to her.
Ought. If someone ought to do something, then it is the right thing to do.
I ought to take my library books back.
Resist. To resist something is to fight against it.
He resisted the treatment at the hospital.
Reveal. To reveal is to show something.
I will reveal where I hid the candy bar.
Rid. To rid is to make a place free from something or someone.
We rid our home of mice by using traps.
Sword. A sword is a long, sharp weapon.
They used to use swords in battles in ancient times.
Tale. A tale is a story.
She told her two friends about the wild tale of her day.
Trap. To trap people or animals is to capture them so they cannot get away.
We trapped butterflies in a net.
Trial. A trial is the way a court discovers if a person is guilty or innocent.
He went on trial for robbing the bank.
Violent. When people are violent, they want to hurt someone.
The man was put into jail because he was violent.